The flowers bloom in springtime, the leaves fly in the fall, but we have one another through the changes of them all. These unspoken wonders, these stories left to tell, there can't be any other who loves me quite as well.
If we should ever falter, should we ever hang by a string, remember we have each other through all the seasons, through everything. These unspoken wonders, these stories left to tell, there can't be any other who loves me quite as well. Through it all, summer, winter, spring, the wave of still my everything. I'll never leave if you're not with me. I've imagined this moment about 1,000,000 times, and I know it's been said that our dreams never lived in real life. From the first time that I saw your face, covered in linen and light, you were a moment of grace, almost too good for my eyes. If this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful, wonderful thing they call love. If this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful, wonderful thing they call love. They'll say that you know it when you know that it's right. With each step you're taking, we're getting closer to the rest of our lives. Just look at me, I'll look at you. Forget the world now, it's just us two. If this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful, wonderful thing they call love. If this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful, wonderful thing they call this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful wonderful thing they call love. If this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful, wonderful thing. If this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful, wonderful thing they call love. If this is a dream, then don't wake me up from this beautiful, wonderful thing they call love.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No presentation,
No, Mr. Chairman, we do not have any presentations at this time, this month.
no one from the public wants to speak. Mr. Cash, do you have anything?
No, well, tonight's our, music festival / variety show. I'm gonna be leaving here and heading over to school for that. We went straight from football season, the basketball season, the soccer season, the testing season, now we're in field trip season. And so we're doing a lot of field trips. We're rewarding, in field trips, we're doing a lot of reward for the kids. They really worked hard with their math testing and on the TCAP testing, and I told them that, they tried their best, that, as they met their goals on their map, they were able to go, but if they tried their best on TCAP, that, we reward them, and that's what we're doing. Today was field day. I don't know how that went, because I went with my son to the zoo. He was in kindergarten, so I went with him to the zoo. So that was fun. But I haven't heard anything, so that was positive. but it's just busy. We do have, our preschool they're having their promotion / graduation. It was scheduled for virtual day, but it's gonna be at the park, and we're gonna keep it, because the parents were bringing the kids to it, so we're keeping that scheduled for Monday. And then kindergarten will be Wednesday at 9, and then our 8th grade promotion is Thursday at 9, and we hope everybody can come out. So we'll be getting into graduation season tomorrow. So we've had some visitors this week. Love having them. Anytime anybody wants to come, more than welcome. And just really looking forward to ending the year on a good note. So that's all I have. Unless you guys have anything for me.
I would like to say thank you all for letting us come over and look around. Was very impressed with your board that you showed us that have the students' progress on it, how they're coming along. You can just easily pick up a card and look at it. Very impressed with that.
Thank you, and you guys are invited. More than welcome to come anytime.
Thank you. That wasn't the only thing I was impressed with. But I was really impressed with that.
Ms. Stanley, Winfield?
I want to remind everybody that our band and Robin's Band is having their concert tonight at 6:30 at Winfield School. Tomorrow at 1 is our music festival. There's no admission fee. Parents, families are welcome to come. All the classes will be participating. We'll have concessions and cakewalk. And this is Teacher Appreciation Week. So my big thing tonight is I want to tell you about what all we're doing this week. And I don't want to take the time, but we've had the best week that I can remember in teaching. We started off Monday, and I'm going to have to read part of this because we've done so much this week that every one of my staff has just been hopping. We've just been hopping. Monday, we started off with cinnamon rolls at breakfast and specialty pizzas for lunch. Tuesday, we started a mystery game, and it is a contest, and my staff is receiving emails from headquarters, and they were divided up into teams. So Tuesday, we started off with energy bars to get them revved up for this contest, and Wednesday, everybody was given a country. So we have people from France and people from Italy, just different, 6 different countries. And they've designed their own t-shirts. Each team has a t-shirt with its own color. They kind of fought over the colors a little bit, but then we finally got that straightened out. Today, their mission, one of their missions, they have missions and challenges, was to do something kind for somebody else. And that was great. We had people bringing in pizzas, cheesecakes. We had all kinds of food today. I mean, if there was a food, I think we had it today. And our cafeteria manager is now sending out emails in French because she's from the team of France. One of my teachers tried to do something kind. She came in and she said, "Does it still count if we offer to do something kind and they won't take it?" And I said, "Honey, what do you mean?" And she said, "I offered to 3 different teachers to take their bus duty today, and none of them would let me because it would give me points and take away their points." So they wouldn't give up their bus duty. And I said, "I mean, that's dedication when you won't give up bus duty at the end of the day." So it's been absolutely fantastic. Tomorrow, some of us are making bacon and pancakes for breakfast. Mi Rancho is bringing in lunch for them tomorrow. We appreciate them doing that. Monday, which is kind of the Teacher Appreciation Day appropriated, and I appreciate that for Mr. Hall allowing us to do that. But that's kind of our finale day. It's our big day, and we're bringing in, having a catered lunch from Texas Roadhouse. They're really excited about that. And I think they're going to find Monday that it's just, this is a time, it's been such a stressful year, and now I heard people out in the hall laughing. My computer today was blowing up from teams, emailing teams, and challenges and stuff like that. Morale at my place has never been higher than it was today. And when you're coming down to the end of the year, I think that is absolutely phenomenal. So we're having the best time. I don't know about everybody else, but I don't know how school's going, but I'm telling you, Winfield School's having the best time there was up there. And if y'all want to come up and join us, I guarantee you we'll have food. I don't know, and we got all kinds of games and things going on. The kids are getting into it now. I had all kinds of kids coming in to me today saying, are you Team Japan? And I said, well, honey, I'm not. I'm just for all the teams. Well, you don't get this flag then. I said, okay. They're doing great. I'm so proud of my people that I would have just about to burst my bubble today. So just want to give them a big, big shout out. My husband knows that I've been coming home every night laughing about stuff that they've done. When we started out of school today, one of the teachers stopped him and was saying, do you know what she did today? So it's been a great time. Just to appreciate all the people I've got up there. That's all. I'm through bragging.
Who wants to follow that, right?
Robin?
No. I think it's you.
Russell? I'll get her out here.
Well, it's kind of hard to follow those two after that discussion, but I do want to say how proud I am of the faculty and the staff at our school. We've spent all week doing things for each other, pancake breakfast. We've had a lot of things, something different going on each day. Monday is a big day for all of us, but my teachers don't know what's going on, so I'm not going to say it in case this is being aired. I want them to know. So it's still a surprise to them, but they will enjoy it. I just want to say how proud I am of them and all the work that they do, all the help that they give to me and to each other. It's a great place all the time, but this week has been really special. That's all I have. Should I have something for me?
Thank you. Rachel?
So kind of touching a little bit on what Scott said, we went through our TCAP season and we did a TCAP rewards system for which you all heard me mention before. And so we're now in that phase of the kids who met that 185-point goal. Our 8th graders had a bounce house that was an obstacle course so that they could compete and go through that. We've had 5th grade to the park because they really like to be on playground equipment. 6th grade had a field day that our PE teacher helped out with. 7th grade's having a cookout, so they all chose something a little bit different to reward their kids for TCAP, and the kids had a hand in choosing what they wanted, and we just provided it for them. So we've had that going on, and of course we've had things for Teacher Appreciation Week. We used Marsha Cotton from Clever Bee Cookies. She's brought us cookies. Thank you, Miss Kim. Thank you, Miss Sharp. They brought snacks out to the school yesterday, so the teachers were very thankful about that. And then we've got some door prize things planned. I won't talk about what those are since it's been aired, but we did put a little gift in the teacher's box today also, just some little something for each of them. So that's what we have going on at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Shannon, you have anything? Mr. Bruce? Okay. Then we'll go to the director of school.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quick reminder, Saturday, SHS graduation, 10 a.m. For you guys, you need to park as you come in the gate, turn to the right, go to the back. There'll be someone there waiting on you guys to come in. I will get there 9 o'clock or a little after, if you could. You should have a schedule for the remaining graduations that are scheduled to start on Tuesday. So if those of you all that can make those, it's always a privilege to have you there. So if you could, try to make those. Monday, May 15th, virtual day for Scott County Schools. Also the second half of the day, each school will be having teacher celebrations. Again, this has been Teacher Celebration Week, and you guys have heard the great things that each school has done. It's phenomenal. We have the absolute most wonderful staff that we could possibly have right here in Scott County. You won't find any better. And I can say that confidently, and I think you guys know that if you've been around, you'll see that our teachers, our students, everyone's in the school is phenomenal every day to make our kids better. Also a reminder too that professional development, May 19th and the 22nd. There's a plan for each school. I think Ms. Keith worked very diligently on to get those out. That was approved by the state, as was the virtual day. Like I said, Friday, May 19th, and Monday, May 22nd will be the professional development days. TCAP retake for the 3rd grade will be the 23rd and the 24th of May. Do have a quick note I do want to, kind of sad note I could say. One of my former teachers, Huntsville Middle School, very respected, very congenial man, Mr. Lonnie Russell, passed away this week. If anyone had the pleasure of being in Mr. Russell's class, you knew that he made learning fun for science, but he treated everyone with the utmost respect and dignity every single day. I never can recall being at Huntsville Middle School and listening to any student that came through there saying that Mr. Russell was ever disrespectful to anyone. He loved the students, well respected, and again, if you get a chance to pay respects, I think he's out tonight, 6 o'clock, over at 4 Oak Funeral Home. So, really sad day for Scott County Schools. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have, unless y'all have any questions for me.
That brings us to item 7. In accordance with the board policy number 1.403, the Scott County Board of Education should adopt an agenda of all items to be acted upon during the regular monthly meeting. Do I have a motion to accept? Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Mr. Silcox?
Aye.
Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Ms. Terry?
Aye.
Okay. Item 8, in accordance with the Scott County Board of Education policy number 4.403, the Board of Education may include routine and non-controversial items on a consent agenda, which may be adopted by a single vote without discussion. Any item on the consent agenda may be removed and placed on the regular agenda for further consideration at the request of any board member. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Ms. Terry?
Aye.
Ms. King?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Item 9A, pursuant to board policy number 2.201, the Scott County Board of Education needs to approve budget amendments as recommended by the Director of Schools. ISM budget amendment number 1, GP amendment number 7, federal amendment number 10, and food service amendment number 2. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Terry?
Aye.
Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye. Item 9B, the Scott County Board of Education needs to approve the budget applications. To approve the financial budget application grants for 2023-2024 school year and authorize the superintendent to file any necessary budget revisions, addendas, or amendment requests with the general budget, purpose budget, consolidated application, CTE budget, and the food service budget.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Terry?
Brings us to 9C, the Scott County Board of Education needs to approve summer school allocations. To approve the following district allocations for the 2023 summer school program. Transportation in the amount of $48,967.55. Summer learning camps, stream mini camps, and bridge camps $269,983.22. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Ms. Terry?
Aye.
Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King? Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Silcox?
Item 9D, the Finance Department opened bids that were sent to the board for your consideration. On special education related services, speech, with Grace Rehab Services for Scout High, Winfield, and Robbins. Sidekick Therapy Partners, Fairview Elementary and Huntsville Elementary and Middle, and Stellar for Birchville Elementary. OT and PT for Grace Rehab Services, and psychologist Shane Goad. Do I have a motion? Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote and roll call.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Terry? Ms. Sharp? Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King? Mr. Stanley?
Aye. That brings us to 9E. The Scott County School District needs to contract with Derek Klein, doctor, to provide behavioral management services for special education children. To contract services with Derek, PhD, to provide behavioral management services for special education children referred to her by the special education supervisor. The contract should begin August 1, 2023 until May 30, 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Sharp? Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King? Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Ms. Terry?
Aye.
Okay. Item 9F. The food service director would like to renew and award the bid for food and non-food items. Renew the following bids for milk and ice cream to Mayfield Dairy, Smart Mouth Pizza, Bullseye Brands and Company, Produce, T&T Produce, Food and Non-Food, Institutional Wholesale Company Incorporated. Do I have a motion?
Make motion. Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Ms. King? Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. Sharp? Ms. Terry? Mr. Silcox? Mr. Stanley?
Item 9G, according to board policy number 4.302, board approval is needed for Alice State and overnight school trips. The following trips: Aware Director Youth Mental Health Meeting in Nashville, Tennessee, May 18th through 19th, 2023. Aware Director Social Workers and Counselors Leadership Institute Conference in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, September 17th through the 19th, 2023. Aware Director Social Workers and Counselors American School Counselors Association, Atlanta, Georgia, July 15th through the 18th, 2023. Huntsville Middle School Teachers, the Tennessee Association of Middle Schools in Sevierville, Tennessee, June 5th through the 6th, 2023. And Principals, Spring Lift Network Meeting in Nashville, Tennessee, May 3rd and 4th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Sharp? Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King? Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Ms. Terry?
Okay. Item 9H, extended utilization of vehicles in accordance with the provisions of TCA Section 49-6-2109, The board must approve the utilization of buses that have 16 years of service before they can remain in service. Does anyone request me read all these VIN numbers?
Question on.
Okay, please don't. Okay. May I have a motion?
I make a motion. Thank you, her, Judy.
That'd be one of those times when you call on each board member to do something.
And Kim second.
Yes.
Any discussion? If not, let's go on roll call.
Ms. King?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Terry? Mr. Silcox? Mr. Stanley?
Aye. Item 9I, pursuant to TCA 5-21-118, the board policy number 2.403, the Scott County Board of Education may declare property as surplus and authorize the Director of Finance to sell the identified surplus property at a public sale. We have 3 school buses listed. And a GMC Sonoma. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Ms. Terry? Ms. Sharp?
Okay, Item 9J, approval is needed by the board to amend board policies as recommended by TSB. The second reading of policy number 1.102, board members' legal status, and the first reading of policy number 6.411, student wellness and standard operational procedure. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Vote on roll call.
Ms. Terry?
Aye.
Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King? Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Silcox?
Item 9K, earlier this week, we submitted a request to the Department of Education to use 2 of our stockpile snow days for professional development for May 19th and 22nd. We're very appreciative for both days were approved because the end of the year will be very busy with our elementary schools planning for summer learning camp, 3rd grade retention law, fundamental skills and training for RTI intervention. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, vote on roll call.
Mr. Silcox? Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Ms. King? Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Ms. Terry? Ms. Sharp?
Item 9L, in accordance with Scott County Board of Education policy number 2.806, concerning bids and quotations, all purchases of supplies, materials, equipment, and contractual services in excess of $25,000 shall be based on competitive bid. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I make a motion, I second it for the security entrance here, correct?
Yes.
Any discussion? Not on a roll call.
Ms. King?
Aye.
Mr. Silcox?
Aye.
Ms. Terry?
Aye.
Ms. Sharp?
Aye.
Ms. Kidd?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye. Okay, before we adjourn, Mr. Silcox, do you have anything?
I do want to thank everyone for what they do, and I know it's appreciation week. I want to thank not only the teachers, but everybody. You all have to work together and make it, and everyone does a great job. I've been to schools from here to Memphis to Nashville. In my opinion, we got some of the greatest educators and staff in the state. I thank you for what you do. Everybody like their meal over today, Mr. Cash? also, I would like to, maybe within, I'd like to mention this, within, I think we need to recognize people and give flowers for what they do. Maybe next meeting or so, I'd like to maybe get a plaque, get something. I'd like to recognize Mr. Matt Watson for what he did. Did a phenomenal job. I don't know all the details. I just got the headlines, the highlights. But I think anytime faculty and staff can save a kid's life potentially should be recognized and awarded. Okay. I want to personally, I've known Matt for years, know his background. I want to thank him for what he did. And I think we should, as a board, recognize him also. Any questions?
Ms. Sharp, first thing Ms. Sharp did too is you showed both the room you had in second grade.
She showed us the room where you were a problem child.
So right to Tommy took off appreciation.
If teachers did today what Ms. Sharp did to me, this building would be full.
No, no, have proof that it works. Where would you be today if it hadn't been for me?
Semi-work.
Yeah, semi.
Back then, you didn't go home and tell mommy and daddy the teacher smacked you. because then you got to whip it at home.
Miss Carleen, you have anything?
I just want to thank all the staff also, everybody from all the schools to all the people that work here in central office. I also want to thank the staff at Robbins today. I went to the Living Wax Museum. Great program. Those kids have to memorize a lot and they repeat it over and over to the other classes and other people that come through. Great job by the teachers, great job by the students. You must have been in my head. This has been coming to my mind, I don't know how many times past 2 or 3 days, but my dad used to, of course, I'll try not to cry. He was a preacher and he would always say, not always, but sometimes he would ask us to come to the altar and he'd say, if there's anyone here that you'd like to give a flower to, give them the flowers now while they're living, you know, if they've done something. So you all know, if I ever hear anything that, you know, or if I ever think you're doing a great job, I try to commend you on it and tell you what I've heard. On May 4th, May 3rd, I was with the 8th graders at Robbins and some of the teachers, and we were talking about the upcoming trips that some of the 8th graders have, and at that time. And when we got to CTE, and Keith, I've known you for a long time, and I know you don't like attention drawn to yourself, but buckle up. And they were talking about, we were talking about CTE, and ever since we went to Nashville a couple years ago, and we were in one of those little mini program things, and they were talking about CTE, that had really struck a chord with me. And since then, anything to do with CTE, if we could have every program possible with that, I'd love it. I've just become a real fan of CTE, but one of the teachers said to me, she said, you know, when we were talking about the different programs that they were going to Roan State, they were going to Great Dane, they were going to the CTE program at Scott High, and she said, I am so glad that the heavy equipment simulator, she said, I am so thankful that these kids are going to get a chance to work with that. So what you're doing is making an impact. People see that, they appreciate it, they see the need, and like I say, I wish we could have a food truck set up everywhere, culinary, so many things I'd like to see us do at Scott High and involve the middle school programs. But like I say, when I hear something good, I want to pass it on to you. You're doing a good job.
Ms. Sharp?
Hard act to follow from all of them, but I do appreciate everybody too, and that's everybody that has anything to do with education here. And talking about CTE, I have a friend that I taught school with at Sunbright. She now lives in Powell Valley, and she was talking about her grandson. He just graduated last year, I think, went to vocational school for a year, and he's working on 18-wheelers in Knoxville, and she was helping him with his taxes, and he only made $115,000 his first year. So vocation is on its way. Vocational skills are certainly needed. And I know for a fact that we have the most outstanding teachers here. And I can compare it from being in different school systems and having children in different schools and different school systems. Our folks here care about the children. Education is second to caring about our children, and I appreciate it. And I've been fortunate to work with 2 new teachers, new principals this year, and they both done an outstanding job as well. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Hall, you have something else?
Yes, I did email you guys today. Did hire a new principal at Birchfield Elementary School. It's Emily Norris. Emily has worked 24 years for Birchfield. She did a phenomenal job. She's ready to hit the ground running. Started July 1. She's ecstatic, and she is ready to go. Follow up with Tommy. Mr. Matt Watson was a hero. And he's a hero. I got choked, and I talked to Matt. He was a little pre-K student. The nurse couldn't get the food unlodged. They were about to panic, and then Matt happened to be there, and took the child, turned him over, and pounded him on the back, and finally the child said, "Stop, you hurt me." He got it out. So what he did was heroic. And with you guys having your next one, you guys do that. Okay, awesome.
I'd like to thank all the teachers and principals and staff. You do an excellent job in a very trying time. That's all I can say. Mr. Beatty?
As a parent of 2 daughters in the system, I want to express my appreciation for the administration, the teachers, and the staff. And I apologize for anything that may apply. If you have any complaints, I'll give you my wife's cell phone. Or Linda's. Go listen to Linda.
I'd like to thank everybody. There's just not enough words to even put in place to thank you enough. You have battles, you have obstacles. I know you get discouraged. I mean, that comes with the job. That's part of it and the day we live in. And I would love to be able to come to every activity the schools have, but during the day where I work full-time, it's hard to always get away from work, but I try to as much as I can. But I'd like to thank everyone that's in the school system.
Miss Angie?
Well, I want to say, first of all, I worked hard at figuring out what I could go to and what I couldn't. So just know that if I don't show up at your graduation, it's not because I didn't try. Like I have a grandson graduating 8th grade, I can't miss that. I can't miss Winfield, so I mean, that's cutting out a lot of you, and I'm sorry. But I do appreciate everything everybody does. I understand, as many of us do, we've been there. But I say what you deal with now is much more than I dealt with. I left in January, COVID hit in March, and I said, thank you, Lord. I don't know if I could have handled that. That's a whole new learning curve. And from there, y'all just hit the ground running and just keep going. Just keep coming up with stuff. And I appreciate it. As many parents do, and I know they don't tell you, but we do hear it sometimes. And so, they do appreciate you and what you do, and for what you do for the kids, just like Birchfield. You know, they're dealing with the ordeal with a kid about every day. Then they end up with an emergency. I was out there yesterday, and it hit them once again. But yesterday was a new child, so, you know, we just need to pray about those things and pray about what's going on with some of our kids that we don't know and understand.
Did I miss anybody in the central office needs?
Excuse me, Mr. Stanley.
Yes.
I meant to say it's nice to have some visitors with
Yes.
us. We're glad you're here and come back and join us. And it's nice to have you with us. I was meant to say that today.
One more thing, and I'll hush and we'll come to a close, but I know John said that his daughter listens to Miss Sharp. Kind of afraid not to. Tell you a quick little story, which I've known Miss Sharp ever since I guess I've been born.
Now, I'm going to tell the truth on you if you keep talking.
She was my teacher, so after I graduated, and I worked as a deputy, I came in, my wife worked over there in Fairview, so I came in, Miss Sharp was principal, and I came in as in uniform, we was going to have lunch together. So I guess at that time you couldn't have, remember I guess when the labels, you couldn't have labels on your drink or pop or whatever. So I came in carrying a sack and I had my pop and we was going to eat together, and Miss Sharp said, hey, where are you going? I said, I was going to go down to Joy's room and have some lunch. Not with that pop in your hand, you're not. I said, I can't have a pop in here? No, you cannot. So yeah, it don't matter who you are, she's gonna tell you.
How we are.
Yeah, or how old you are. I can carry my gun, but not with pop.
You know, there's always those students you never forget.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
It's the good ones. No, I don't.
Motion to adjourn,
My motion.
I second.
roll call.
I'll call it. Tommy, Mr. Silcox. Ms. King. Mr. Stanley. Ms. Terry. Ms. Sharp. Ms. Kid. Let's go home.